What's going on, Colts Nation? So I'm going to make this one quick here. I am with family, so not in my normal recording spot, but we just watched the Colts unfortunately lose a game that was, I will say, a very good game all the way through. But Indianapolis, they led by 7 with a couple minutes left there and just couldn't hang on, couldn't make it happen, and had opportunities and shot themselves in the foot. And just unfortunately, near the end there, Daniel Jones throws an ill-advised pass there into double coverage, gets picked off. Rams win. Colts fall to 3-1. So, yeah, there's a lot you can talk about in this game. Ultimately, we knew it was going to be a dogfight, right? We knew this was going to be a game that was going to go back and forth. We knew the Rams, they went toe-to-toe with the Eagles last week. So we knew this was going to be a good football game. And we knew this was going to be a barometer with this team. And I guess if you're looking for a silver lining, it's these Colts, they are competitive, they are legit. They went toe-to-toe and they had every opportunity to win this game against the Rams. And unfortunately, some unforced errors, some issues happening with a few players that really, I think, hurt this football team. And one player in particular that cost this team 14 points that really, really swung the momentum in the Rams' favor down the stretch. But again, it's a team game. You win and you lose as a team. It's hard because there's some players who I think really stood out in a negative way that really hurt your football team today. But all that to say, guys, it was a good game. It really was. It was a fun game back and forth. Ultimately, obviously, not a good ending there for the Indianapolis Colts. But again, like I said, they had every opportunity to win in this game. And, felt like for the Colts, for the most part, they hung around in this game. Really, in this game, the Indianapolis Colts, their offense kind of got out of sync at times. They definitely were not the offensive juggernaut that they had been the first 3 weeks. They started getting things going and just had a couple things that really killed some drives. I mean, they had a long pass to A.D. Mitchell, a 75-yarder that unfortunately he drops in the end zone. So that's another back-to-back year of a player doing that, and that doesn't count. So that's 7 points off the board there. Then Jonathan Taylor, late in that game, he breaks one when it scores 20-20, and guess who? Adonai Mitchell holds again and another touchdown off the board. So that's 14 points that Adonai Mitchell cost the Indianapolis Colts today, and it was just really unfortunate. But, yeah, I mean, for the most part, guys, the Colts offense – they showed flashes, but they also had some times in this game where they were out of sync, like I said. And credit to the Rams. They did a good job getting pressure. It felt like they got a lot more pressure on Daniel Jones today, forced him into some not great decisions. And ultimately, Daniel Jones turns it over twice today, takes 2 sacks. By far the offensive line, who was down, their starting right guard, Matt Gonsalves, in this game, I would say their worst performance so far through 4 weeks. So that definitely stinks there. But like I said, the offense did everything that they needed to do. There was just a couple things there, in a couple key moments, that 14 points off the board there. And then near the end of that game, Mekhi Blackman falls down to Atwell, 80 yards to the house. Rams take the lead there. So Colts were in this game. There was just a couple big plays that didn't go in their favor, and a couple ways where this team shot themselves in the foot on both sides of the football. And it's just really, really unfortunate there when it comes to this game. Again, I'm not going to probably get into everything, guys, so I do apologize. I'm going to go be with family here, but just wanted to bring you a recap. It's emotions are very high right now, but that's just such a dumb thing for Adonai Mitchell. Definitely a day to forget for him. And I think if I'm Indianapolis, I seriously consider giving guys like Ashton Dulin more of a run, especially when Alec Pierce gets back, hopefully this next week. That's the hope there when it comes to that. But, yeah, I mean, in this game, like I said, Mitchell could have had a touchdown, but he dropped it. He fumbled the football in the end zone, but he did lead the Colts with 96 yards in this game. Tyler Warren, a strong day. He had 5 catches for 70 yards. He did have a rushing touchdown in this game, so his first career touchdown. So that's definitely awesome. Michael Pittman, 5 for 41, had a receiving touchdown as well. And then Josh Downs had 4 for 24. Taylor had a couple, 5 for 20. And then Dulin had 1 for 11 in this game. So, yeah, I mean, it was all right from the passing offense. Again, Daniel Jones, 262 passing yards, did have a passing touchdown, should have had 2 in this game, did throw 2 interceptions as well. So his worst performance as a Colt for sure. Jonathan Taylor, 17 for 76 in this game. It felt like the Colts really didn't run the football in that first half, and I wish they would have, because their offense was getting out of sync in a lot of ways. because of that. So they got back to it in that second half, and good things started happening on their offense. And then when you look at the defense, I mean, it was an up and down day for the defense. Matthew Stafford, 29 of 41, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, did get sacked 3 times in this game. Again, one of those passes was a long pass where the defender fell down. Matthew Stafford found Tutu Atwell. But the big one in this game, I mean, Puka Nacua was absolutely abusing Xavier Howard all day long. I don't care who you put out there. Xavier Howard's a liability. He does not need to see the field. He is horrendous. Horrendous. One of the worst corners I've ever seen. You cannot put him out there if you're the Indianapolis Colts. I don't care if you put Jonathan Edwards out there. Like, it was so bad in this game. Xavier Howard was continuously getting abused by whoever it was, Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua. It didn't matter in this game. Nacua had 13 catches for 170 yards and a touchdown in this game. You are not mishearing that. 170 yards on 13 receptions. Credit to the Rams. They targeted Xavier Howard all day long. He is the clear, an obvious weak link on this defense. There was no question about that. So when it comes to that, yeah, they got to figure that out when it comes to corner. They got to either sign somebody or make a trade because Xavier Howard cannot see the field. I repeat, cannot see the field moving forward. It's not an option for you. It's just absolutely not. And then you had a couple other players, like I said, Atwell had that big 88-yarder for the touchdown to pull the Rams ahead late. Adams had 4 for 56. Mainly Mooney Ward was on him all day long. And, Adams obviously got him one time on that touchdown, but felt like for the most part, Mooney was able to do a pretty good job on him all day long. Did feel like the Colts were able to get some pressure on Matthew Stafford in this game, which is definitely good. When you look at this game, at Latu had a really strong game. He had his first sack of the year. Just felt like he was all around the football all day long, creating pressures, creating havoc. So that's definitely encouraging if you're the Indianapolis Colts. DeForest Buckner also was creating havoc back there. Adetomio Adebaware was also back there creating some havoc. He had half a sack today as well. So, yeah, for the Indianapolis Colts, I mean, for me, guys, I felt like the defense, outside of really not being able to guard Puka Nacua, I felt like they were okay in this game. I mean, there was a lot of times where they forced the Rams to settle for 3, and then you just had that busted play at the end. But the defense in that first half definitely were really struggling, but that second half, outside of really a couple plays, they play a little bit better. So, yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Like I said, it's not going to be a long one, not going to be a typical one, but definitely a heartbreaking game because this is a game the Colts should have had, the Colts should have won, and really you feel like the Colts beat themselves more than anything when it comes to this loss. But you definitely, if you're looking at the positives here, Colts hung around with the team that was right there with the Super Bowl champion from a year ago. So this team definitely, any given day, you're like, hey, this was actually a legitimate team, and the Colts had every chance and should have won this game. They just let it slip through their fingers at the end. And you got to figure some things out if you're the Indianapolis Colts, specifically with a couple of those players like I mentioned. And you just got to figure that out moving forward. And maybe the Colts, are making some moves here to figure that out. I'm hopeful that they start playing some younger guys and some other guys that are maybe show some more promise. A guy like JT Tuimuluau, who got a few snaps today, which is good. Like I said, maybe Jonathan Edwards gets more of a run at that number 2 outside corner. I don't know. You got to do something because it can't be much worse than it was with Xavier Howard in this game. And then hopefully you get Alec Pierce back. You definitely are missing him today in the passing game for sure. And there were just a couple unforced errors today by A.D. Mitchell that just killed your momentum. So that's really all I have to say, guys, when it comes to this game. A tough game. We knew it was going to be a hard one. We knew the Colts were going to have to be on their A game, and at times they were, and at times they made some boneheaded mistakes that cost them in this game. So that's really all I have to say, guys, in regards to this one. I know emotions are high right now, trying to keep a level head. I was pretty fired up at the end of that game, but just wanted to bring you guys a quick recap. And obviously you guys, if you're following along with Derek, Derek was not happy as well. I mean, it was just so disappointing because we felt like you just left so many points on the board there in this game. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. That'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. And as always, go Colts.